Hi, welcome back to our talk on the power of reading. I'm John Patrick Hickey, and in our last video I told you that I wanted to talk to you a little bit about the difference between fiction and nonfiction, and that's what I want to do within these next couple videos. And in this I want to talk to you specifically about fiction. Now, fiction, to break it down very simply, is make-believe. Fiction is things that are not actually happening. There's all different kinds of fiction. There is science fiction. Science fiction, you've got your Star Trek books, your Star Wars. And, let me interject here. For people who are Star Wars fans and Star Trek fans, and that kind of science fiction, read the books. The books are really well done, and you want to read the books. Now, you're not going to find a lot of difference between the book and the movie on some of these, because in many cases the book was actually written after the movie. So instead of the book came out first and then they created the movie. But there's still a lot of different books. One of the best science fiction series, if you're into science fiction, I'm just throwing this in for whatever reason, Ray Bradbury did, who was the creator of Star Trek, but he did a great series called the Martian Chronicles. If you're into science fiction, there is a good series of books to read. It's the Martian Chronicles. Really superb stuff. Bradbury was an excellent writer, and he has a whole wealth of books that you can get into. One of the things with fiction that I found is a lot of people who are into reading a lot of fiction. Now, I personally read mostly nonfiction. I do make it a point every year to read a certain amount of fiction books, just because I want to keep broadening my perspective of reading. But my wife reads almost exclusively fiction because that's what she likes, and she likes science fiction. But she likes to read fiction, and if you do, a lot of people will go and read the works of a single author. That if you like the work of somebody, you just get all the books that that person has done. And because you kind of follow their style, not necessarily because they write in series, although some of them do. You might just like the style of a certain author, and so you read all of their books. Case in point, is people who have enjoyed the series of Harry Potter. They not only like to follow the adventures of Harry Potter, but they do that because they like the writing of J.K. Rowling. They like the way that she forms a story and puts it together and how the whole thing blended. So you can see that there's a lot of stuff that an author can present to his or her audience, that they will keep following them through a lot of their fiction. You'll find the same thing true with nonfiction as far as the authors go, that there are certain people, and I'll talk more about this in the next video, that have followings, but more I think in the fiction area, that people will follow a particular author. Ernest Hemingway, for instance. People who enjoy Hemingway will tend to read all of Hemingway's stuff. F. Scott Fitzgerald's the same way, that if you like Fitzgerald, you tend to read all of Fitzgerald's stuff. So you got that whole mixture of different literature. Fiction also is great, relaxing type books. Even if you're into mainly reading nonfiction books, like I said I am, it's good to read a variety of fiction periodically, especially if you're like on vacation or you just need some downtime or something on the weekends, because it allows you to kind of escape that reality type thing. Gives you something just to enjoy and not have to really process and think deeply on. Although there is a lot of good stuff in fiction. There's a lot of great things in literature that you can learn from and gain some wonderful knowledge with. So if fiction is something that you enjoy, and there's all kinds of fiction, you can have historical fiction, you can have children's books, like I said, you can have science fiction, you can have just regular fiction, you get classic literature. There's so many different forms of fiction that if you have a particular taste, you'll find it there. All you have to do is look and enjoy it. In our next video, we're going to talk about nonfiction and exactly what that will mean to you as well. Until then, for the Growth Center, this is John Patrick Hickey, and I do want to encourage you to pursue your purpose and change your world.